Devin, how cool is that for you guys to get so many interceptions? That's something y'all kind of been working for, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a confidence. It was a confidence builder for sure. We're a young secondary, so I feel like we were all waiting to make plays for the team, and it was just nice to do it, especially against the old coach, whose whole movement was take three. So a little extra added motivation for that. So yeah.
What happened? I mean, why are y'all able to? That's a lot of interceptions.
uh, I feel like we had a lot of motivation going into that game.
Hmm.
You know, you hear the noise from the outside. You try to block it out as much as possible, but you hear it, and it's just adds a chip on your shoulder. So
I was saying you showed a little bit of that chip on your pick, right? I think you went towards the sideline, out of bounds, and then you tried to come back. It seemed like that to remind someone. I think it was after that you did make the pick, right?
I don't even know what I was thinking. I was just kind of in the moment. So whenever you have a moment like that, you don't really think too much about what you're doing. It's just living in it.
How big was the as far as the pass rush, kind of forcing those?
It was huge. I mean, their quarterbacks were flustered the entire game. I think we had 6 sacks,
Yeah.
so they didn't have any time to get the ball off. So when you cause a quarterback to throw the ball off balance, off his back foot, it allows us to make plays.
Devin, how do y'all continue to, keep forcing turnovers as y'all look toward OU this weekend?
It starts here in practice. So just practicing how you play. So whenever the ball's in the air, turn to the receiver, go get it. I feel like prior to the first couple of weeks, I feel like we didn't do a great job at that. Just being intentional about going to get the ball in practice, and in the game, whenever we had our opportunities, slip.
What do you see from Dylan Gabriel?
Oh, he's experienced, real experience. I feel like he knows where he wants to go with the ball, and if he doesn't have his read, he's going to run the ball. So he doesn't turn the ball over a lot. He has 14 touchdowns, 1 interception on the year, so taking care of the ball.
This defensive back group has been one that maybe a little early in the season struggled against some of these teams. Where do you think you guys have taken that biggest step in terms of your on-field play?
Confidence. I feel like that's the main thing. As a DB on the field, you got to have confidence. Every mistake is highlighted. So it's not like you're a D lineman, you get in the wrong gap. It's hard to tell who messed up, but when you're a DB, every mistake is, it's very easy to see who messed up. So just having the confidence to know, even if you make a mistake, we're still here to support you. So go out there, have fun, play loose.
So it seems like there's some guys who have that natural confidence. If they don't, where do you build it from? How do you get confidence?
It has to start in practice, because like if you do it in practice, then you'll have the confidence that it will translate to the game. But if you're not intentional in practice, then you can't expect results.
How do you balance that confidence with staying hungry and going out there and trying to keep proving yourself more every week?
How you balance? I don't know. I feel like we're always hungry. We're young, so like feel like we have something to prove every week. So like even though we had 5 interceptions last week, we feel like people are still doubting us. So we're gonna go out there and try to do it again, lock our man down, make sure they don't have a lot of yards, stuff like that.
What do you see from Gabe Hall? Obviously, he's coming off a great game.
He's a monster.
Yeah.
I mean, 3 sacks is crazy. So he works hard every day. The entire D line room, really. I mean, we were just in meetings talking about intentional practices and stuff, and how the drills were correlating to the game. And I mean, it was kind of crazy to see like the exact drills that they were doing would show up in the game, and 6 sacks.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind on that Tevin interception?
I didn't see the entire play. I just seen Tevin had the ball, and I saw the ref point our way, and I went crazy because I think that was Tevin's first drive of the game, or one of his first drives of the game, and I know that he was a little nervous coming in, so it was just awesome to see like him make a play because he works hard in practice. Like him, Coach Curtis pushes the corners every day, just to be intentional in practice and focus on the reps that they do take. So it was awesome to see that.
Have you gotten a little more comfortable playing on the road?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel like I like to think of it as like a swap mentality, kind of like there's a lot of noise happening. So just to get in there, do our job, and get out. That's kind of like the mentality that I like to take to it. I feel like a lot of the defense takes the same mentality as that.
Devin, you talked about that hunger from the defensive back group. How much are y'all still stressing the whole jackers and robbers thing?
Every day, every single day. Coach Collins does a great job at making sure that we always focus on getting rip attempts, interceptions. If the ball's in the air, it's ours. If the running back has the ball, go hit him, strip the ball. So every single day in practice, in the game, we try to just make sure we get the ball back for the offense.
That standard that JT set, really the whole secondary set last year. How difficult is that to live up to?
Uh, I would say it's difficult, but you got to realize that you're a different type of player. So you can't try and be JT. JT was JT. Jalen Petrie was Jalen Petrie. So what makes us us? What makes us unique? So play to our strengths. They had their strengths, so we got to play to ours.
And then how important is it to have like Christian Morgan, an older guy, to kind of a guy who played with those guys?
It's huge. I mean, Christian, the main thing I've learned from Christian is just to go out there and have fun. I feel like it's easy to go in there like inexperienced and kind of be real stiff, robotic, and not want to make a mistake instead of going out there playing free, playing green. So Christian emphasized that a lot, just going into it. Just go out there, have fun. If you make a mistake, it's okay.
And obviously, y'all been picking up a lot of rushing yardage the last few games. Do you feel like the O-line is playing better, or what's coming together?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're just, we had some few tweaks in the off season in terms of our scheme and everything like that. So, I mean, I think it just takes a few weeks sometimes to get everybody on the same page, kind of get that synergy or that chemistry back that we had. I mean, we had a few guys who were injured, like Khalil, working them back into the fold. So I think it plays in a little bit with everybody, not just the O-line, but just kind of the whole offense catching their stride and playing up to the level we know we're capable of.
How much was a lift was that getting Khalil back? I know he played a little bit against Kansas, but got a start this last week.
It's definitely good to have him back. I mean, everybody knows the talent and the skill set that Khalil brings to the table. But I mean, I think between Gavin Byers and Khalil, I mean, I wouldn't want to be a D lineman lined up across from either one of them when they're rotating in the game and both of them are fresh. So I mean, I wouldn't want to line up across either one of those guys. So getting Khalil back and getting Gavin more rest and Khalil more rest, getting them into the game, rotating. I mean, I think that was a great thing for the O-line to have them back.
In what way does the way that Richard runs the ball inspire you guys to kind of want to block for him?
I mean, I think he just has a real natural feel of the game, as well as he's not afraid to put his shoulder down and fight for extra yards. Just kind of the mentality, and I think all of our running backs kind of have that. Really makes us want to go out there, win the line of scrimmage and fight for every extra yard. I mean, if the guys in the backfield are willing to do that, then especially as one of the big guys up front, I mean, it makes you want to do that as well.
You want to have success, but as an offense as a whole, how satisfying is it when you're up 3 scores or however much you guys were up to then get another touchdown late in the game, almost kind of show your dominance from quarter 1 to quarter 4?
I mean, it feels really good to keep on, scoring touchdowns. I mean, like we say in football, touchdowns are forever. You can never take those back. So, we never take one for granted. I mean, to just kind of up our run efficiency, kind of impose our will, especially as an offensive lineman. I mean, that's what you love to see week in and week out. So, I mean, no matter what the score is, we're never satisfied. We're always looking to put more on top of what we already got.
And looking at the film so far this week, what do you see from Oklahoma's defense, their front seven, things like that?
Oklahoma really isn't afraid to run anything. I mean, they'll really throw everything but the kitchen sink at you. So, twists on the line of scrimmage, a lot of blitzes, even a lot of safeties getting in the mix in terms of like their front seven. So they're gonna move a lot, have a lot of moving pieces up front, as well as they play physical. I mean, they got a lot of twitchy guys up front who can pass rush really well. So, I mean, I think you can really expect to see almost anything from Oklahoma. So you got to prepare for a lot of different things when you're playing their front.
You guys have played in a lot of tough road environments. Are y'all feeling more comfortable when you go out there now? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of that just comes from maturity. I mean, we got a lot of younger guys playing, redshirt guys who maybe weren't traveling last year, true freshman guys who haven't necessarily, been on some of these away road games yet. So I think a little bit of that was just getting their feet wet. I mean, we didn't play great on the road last year too, us older guys. So some of that was just a self-evaluation and kind of thinking, how can we improve in that situation in a hostile environment. So I think that's another thing that we're kind of catching our stride in, and we're feeling confident going into the weekend.
Could you see a big difference, say, against Tech last week and like the BYU game, just as far as the approach?
Yeah, I mean, I just think we were a lot more intentional in practice. We kind of had in our heads what we wanted to do that weekend against Texas Tech, what we were setting out to accomplish, and we weren't really thinking about the environment or kind of the situation we were heading into. We were more so self-evaluating and reflecting on what we needed to improve on, what we needed to get better at, to come out victorious.
Grant, your story was told by the Big 12, a couple weeks ago. Just what does that mean for you to kind of be a model for other kids?
It means a lot to me. A lot of, what I said and when I was up there at Big 12 Media Days was true. It means a lot to me to maybe have somebody out there, looking up to me. I mean, that was really the biggest thing for me is you don't know what little kids or other people out there who may resonate with your story. You think that you're just kind of coming out here practicing, just another guy, just another football player, but you really never know who's looking up to you or, who you may be able to inspire. So, I mean, I think that really goes hand in hand with a lot of stuff Coach Miranda says, like how you do anything is how you should be doing everything. So, really just not taking anything for granted, giving your 100% in anything you do because you never know who's watching.
Grant, at this point, do you see the finish line, that kind of thing, or do you even think about, is it more just getting through the next game to the next game, but knowing that you may only have 4 or 5 games left?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes those thoughts creep into your head, as a senior. You don't want to take your moments for granted. You start thinking about what's life going to be like, not, when you don't have those days every day in the locker room with you and your teammates. But there's also a certain part of it where you got to come back and kind of be where your feet are, focus on each week. I mean, because really any week can be your last week when you're playing football, no matter, if you're a senior, freshman, whatever it may be. So you can't be really too focused on looking forward in the future. You got to focus on what you can accomplish every single day, what you can get better at every single day, and really just focus on the game on Saturday.
John, how satisfying has this year been for you? You won your job back. You've made some big kicks.
Just ready for OU.
Get that one.
In the wise words of Bryce Petty.
That's fantastic.
But personally, for me, it feels really good. Obviously, I've always wanted to be, a team player and contribute, and feel like I've been able to ever since, 2019 when I started playing. So, certainly feels good, and glad to be contributing, helping the team win games.
How do you stay engaged when you're not the starting kicker and you're not getting those in-game opportunities?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, I feel like I really learned that last year, just to really, be grateful for any opportunities I got, whether that was, a few kicks in practice here and there, or, working with the scout team or whatever it was. You just kind of learned to be grateful. I feel like it was kind of, God teaching me patience or great gratitude, or however you want to word it. But I mean, it certainly new for me because I hadn't really experienced that since my true freshman year in 2018. So it was kind of a weird flashback of going back to that, but certainly made me more grateful for sure.
When you don't have those opportunities in games, is there a rust that you almost have to shake off since kicking seems like such a rep kind of thing?
I mean, I certainly hope not, and I feel like so far I've done fairly well. I think, just getting back into it, I think the Texas State game really helped me. That was the first game I started again, I believe. So just getting back into that game really helped me get ready for the conference schedule. But I think, just really practicing against, the best D-line in the country in terms of field goal rush really helps to give me game-like looks. And then, just getting those game-like scenario reps, doing 2-minute every week a couple of times has really helped a lot, I think.
You were obviously really good from when you started before. How do you feel like you maybe have gotten better? What have you worked on?
Well, yeah, I worked on a lot this offseason. So obviously I had the goal of coming back in 2022 and winning the job back with having lost it in 2021. So really my height, elevation, getting the ball up quickly from the start to avoid blocks and things like that. And then also just overall power, strength, distance, getting with, Coach Vic in the weight room, getting stronger, getting under the squat rack, and just increasing my distance on field goals and, kickoffs and anything else if needed as well.
The defense is jackers and robbers. The offense is reliable, violent offense. Is there any kind of calling card or mantra for special teams?
We like to say we have big quads for legs, I guess. So we like to break it out on quads. I don't know. I feel like we're like the special bunch of the group, as we're a little. I don't know. I feel like to be a specialist, you have to kind of be an oddball a little bit. But yeah, I mean, we break it out on quads. We say, crazy stuff to each other that I probably can't say in front of the cameras. But it's good fun, and we have a good time.
So, do you have the best sideburns on the team?
I think I have the only sideburns on the team, to my knowledge. So I guess by default, I have to say yes. But there are definitely some guys that have some really good beards, goatees, and all kinds of things on the team. So I guess that's my unique thing.
John, when you think back to 19, you were put in so many clutch situations. Are you a pressure guy? Do you like that? Do you like it on you in those situations?
I mean, I'd certainly rather it be on me than on the other team's kicker, because I feel more confident in me making it than having to rely on their kicker missing it to win or lose a game. But I feel like just in the pressure moments, I think part of it's natural, and part of it's just we work on it in practice. As we practice, like I said, 2-minute Mayday situations, stuff like that. You just gotta, when it's on the line and it matters most, you just gotta focus in on your technique and your craft, and just do your job and help the team win when it matters most.
If I remember right, they had Noah out there first before you kicked the 51-yarder.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that right?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Did you have confidence that you were going to make that one? Because it seemed like it was a little bit out of your range.
Yeah, I'd say it was about at my range. I think I believe there was a slight wind going that direction that day, so that made me feel a little bit better about it. And actually, I'd missed one in the first half going that direction. That was a lot shorter. But yeah, just like I said, you gotta. I mean, obviously, I was hopeful Noah would have made it if it would have been him, but then they called timeout and switched it. So grateful I got the opportunity and made the kick to help the team. But I think with the wind, I felt like if I hit my A ball that it would go in, and thankfully it did.
Obviously, with the return of you to kicking extra points, field goals, things like that, comes the return of the announcer lines. Do you have a favorite one?
Geez, there's been some pretty bad ones, not gonna lie. I mean, gold posts and Civil War references and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they're mostly pretty bad. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there was a couple games ago that were decent. I think maybe against West Virginia, the guy said something. I don't remember exactly what he said, but I mean, I guess over the few years, there's been I guess guys trying to make jokes on TV and whatnot. But I don't know. I feel most of them are pretty, kind of miss a little bit.
They could up their game a little bit.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I mean, I guess they don't see people with sideburns very often anymore, so maybe they needed to
And guys
do more research on that.
John Mayers too, obviously. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure doesn't help either.
Yeah, I know that you still Google my name, you get the singer, not me. So you got to type Baylor after it for me to come up. So.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you all.